Welcome everybody to part 2 of Project Max. My Rover 416 GTI, 30 years old, somewhat unloved. It's going to need quite a lot of work to get some of these panels straight, and the paint's really rather rough. Bumpers also need a lot of refurb, and the wheels, of course, are steel wheels with wheel trims on. We could do some alloys, I reckon. The engine bay actually looks quite clean. It's never really going to be a show car. That bonnet wants respraying, so does this wing. That wing's got a dent on it. This door's okay, that one's got a dent on it. There's a rust on the quarter panels there. The bumpers and everything need some sort of reconditioning. And plenty of polishing work. These two doors, of course, not particularly pretty, and the wing is the worst bit. That mirror needs replacing. That wiper blade needs replacing as well. It's just one of those cars that survived a very long time without necessarily being an enthusiast's car. One thing for sure though, I will definitely get this looking much nicer than it currently does. Inside, all needs cleaning, but super comfy seats. Yes. And have a listen to this rather lovely engine. Starts so well. That's spot on, that is. Nice rasp to the exhaust. That's the first job done. Yep, that looks much nicer in there now with the clean. You can see just how blue that carpet is now. Would you like to know what this car is like to drive? It's quite good. It's perfectly nice. It drives much nicer than it currently looks. Do you remember those stickers that you used to have on cars pre-modification that said, watch this space? That's what this needs, because it's going to look a lot nicer soon than it currently does. Interior is already nice, and listen to this, listen. And that's smooth. I need some way I can go really fast in it though. Well, that's 24 miles I've driven in this car so far, and it drives nicely. It sounds good, it goes well, but it doesn't really grip on the corners too well, even though the tyres are all perfectly good. I remember the exact same issue with Project Barry. These skinny tyres, 175 65 R14s. You basically get quite a lot of wheel spin, understeer, and ploughing straight on a roundabout if there's any kind of damp. So ideally it does need some alloys on it to make it work better. But actually, how well it handles is never really my main concern. I'm more concerned with how it looks. And to regurgitate an old joke of mine, if with that bad handling you find yourself stuck in a ditch somewhere, you want it to look nice. Well, obviously I've got quite a long way to go with that. So, amongst some other things today, I'm going to see if I can make it look a bit better. Just for my curiosity more than anything. With this paint's as rough as your granny's chin. Now, washing a car that looks like this might seem like putting a bow tie on a tramp, but I want to know how good the paint is underneath all that scuffy stuff. But even before that, I think it's time to replace that mirror. That's one job done. Okay, it's time for Rochdale's senior turd polisher to get to work. First bit of turd polishing, and to be honest, I wasn't really expecting a great deal. I thought maybe the paint's way too gone, but not quite as bad as I was expecting actually. Compare this rear panel to the rear door there, you can see there's much more of a shine on there, And the same goes for the boot. I've done half of the boot and not the other half. Yes, look at me, I'm a happy chap. Yes, it's fantastic. This car's fantastic, even though it doesn't look it. All that polishing work I'm doing there is just a test, kind of, to see how good the paint really is. Is it? Because unless I try it, I won't know. The paint could be completely ruined underneath, and there's no point in putting any effort into it whatsoever. But, as I've found there, it's not quite as bad as I was expecting. Although this is a very old and very rare car now, it doesn't really seem to be getting people's attention very much. Not like Nigel would do, for example. And that's not old or rare. It's just one of a kind. This interior is much nicer since I've cleaned it up as well. Time for a performance run. Slightly anyway. Really well, actually. Bloody hell. Oh, that feels really tuggy after about 5,000 RPM. On a damp road like this, even going in a straight line, it's starting to do that a bit. So it's yeah, it's fun. Well, that's me having an early dart, as they say. Yeah, a knock off early. 5:15. I'm allowed to. After all, it's getting dark and Kurt's just got its MOT, so I don't really need to hang about anymore. So, that is the end of episode 2 of Project Max. And it's about time I told you what I like and don't like about this car. What I like: super comfy seats, automatic gearbox. Quite enjoy an automatic gearbox from time to time. Nice and smooth, nice and pokey, just the right kind of exhaust. Raspberry. Never used that word before. Not raspberry, but raspberry. Exhaust raspberry. What else do I like? I like the fact that it's mine and that it has an MOT. The things I don't like. I don't think it would be fair to say I don't like this car because it's got some dents down the side. You know why? Because if it wasn't for those dents, I wouldn't even have this car. So we kind of got to ignore that. The paintwork could do with being better, but it's 30 years old. What do you expect? The roof lining could do with not being saggy, but it's 30 years old. What do you expect? That's it really, isn't it? Oh, I suppose it could do with not having steel wheels with trims on, but someone's obviously sold the alloys, so what do you expect? All of those that like silly stuff in the kitchen, my new channel, Mustard in the Kitchen. Opened it last night, put 2 beer reviews on. I will probably be making something else for that. And if you're not already a subscriber, then maybe it's because you're not interested. But if you are interested, subscribe to that channel as well. You never know, I might get lots of followers and be able to get paid off of that channel as well. Super duper, I'd like to be loaded out of making videos, please. Never going to happen. Now, before those brake lights come off, can you tell what type of car is in front of us? That's good. That really is quick. But it's kind of all over the road at the same time. So it's a bit scary. Hello, my name doesn't matter what my name is. Nobody knows my real name. Most call me, most call me Nigel. Some call me Captain. I'm actually not called either of those.